Good morning. Welcome. Welcome back. Welcome home. How we doing? Damn, Chef, you all right? That's crazy. Howdy. I was going to say howdy. You have the same hoodie? This is the best hoodie ever. I love this thing. Love it. You guys saw Lululemon earnings. Why do you think that went up? It's because of me. Howdy. 92 in Philly today? Jeez. That's nice. What's it going to be in Miami? Miami. It's going to rain today. Damn, it's going to rain all weekend. Shit. A lot of rain coming. All right. Well, welcome back, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good morning so far. Congrats if you caught some of that sexy upside yesterday. I unfortunately missed quite a bit of it. Sometimes it happens like that, unfortunately. But some nice setups today. I think some really nice opportunities out there. So I'm excited. And there's potentially some longer term trade ideas that I like that I'm going to sort of break down today. It's starting to run away from me in the pre-market here, but it's definitely still a lot more juice, a lot more meat on the bones here that I'm watching. Chef. Thank you, Chef. Happy you're all right. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much, my friend. Trade the market. Nice job, man. Yeah, there's some kind of tropical depression out there. Yeah, I saw that. All right, let's get started. So, thank you guys again for being here. Press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's find some setups. Let's find some places to take some trades. Let's get the hell out of here and enjoy our weekend. That's the most important, right? Weekend. Enjoy it. That's the most important. So, economic earnings calendar. We got some stuff on the economic today. We got the jobs data. So this definitely can affect what we're looking at today here at 8:30. We got some unemployment rates. We got some employment reports. We got some hourly wages. So we'll see how this all reports at 8:30. This could definitely do a little change up. So we'll see what this does. So just keep that in mind. All right, 8:30 today. A little bit of data. We'll obviously look at that in the pre-market here today. Let's pull up the earnings calendar. You did have some reports yesterday. You had Lulu. You had Mongo. Was MongoDB yesterday? Yeah, that was a huge one, man. Huge push on Mongo. Huge push here. Lululemon, nice push as well. What did Broadcom do? Okay, Broadcom just sort of flat after a monster push already. MDB is up massive. Lululemon up pretty nicely as well. So some nice earnings reports there. So we'll obviously keep an eye on those. So that's your earnings. That's your economic. 8:30 really the thing to be watching here in the immediate term. All right. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Tesla 4-hour. Interesting chart. Sort of zooming out here on Tesla, giving you the larger picture, because Tesla's lagging. It still is lagging. And does Tesla play catch up is a big watch here for me. I'm not going to open up any type of long-term options with this, but I'm still buying shares of Tesla. So I think this is a nice longer-term idea here on Tesla. It's a really nice 4-hour flag breakout. And does Tesla play catch up to this market? It's interesting. It's been very strong over the last few weeks. So I want to sort of give you that bigger picture on Tesla. Today, on the intraday, Nvidia 400, this could be a fantastic trade setup. If Nvidia can pull back to 400 for us, if we can see some kind of demand set up there at 400, this could be a great long entry. Definitely watching this one. That Meta flag that we talked about yesterday, I'm not sure if I brought it up in the live stream, but we were hawking this thing yesterday morning. There's a little Meta flag that set up yesterday. That was beautiful. Meta's still in that gap, still looks strong. FSLR and Enphase. Some interesting setups on these solar names. They're sort of being forgotten about, but there's some interesting potential charts here on these two names. FSLR's held a really key channel low. Enphase is approaching a big gap, a big potential gap fill. So maybe keep an eye on these solar names today into next week. These are interesting. Netflix, you guys saw that 400 breakout. You saw that 400 hold. This could be absolutely a trade today. Going to keep an eye on this. Amazon broke over a key 122. And then my baby, the one that I'm probably 100% putting risk on today, whether it's a win or a loss, is Shopify. Shopify bull flag. This is very interesting to me, and I will most likely be putting on some kind of risk on this trade today. We'll be absolutely watching this thing today. All right. That's the schedule. Let's get it going. NASDAQ. what did the NASDAQ do yesterday? Well, the NASDAQ perfectly held the previous day lows. Right? You guys can see right here, this is the NASDAQ. This is the 30-minute, and this was Wednesday's lows. And you can see yesterday we pushed into that low, and we just nailed it, and it just perfectly held that low. 14,250, absolutely textbook little triple bottom here on the NASDAQ. And from that point, it was pretty much rocking and rolling. There was some resistance that we had around this 370. If we go to the 5-minute chart and we look at that 370, you can see we just squeezed right above that level, held it right here. Beautiful push. The next level we had was 14,460, had a little resistance, broke above, pulled back, sort of held that level. And then this morning just sort of curling off that level. So ever since, right, it really all stemmed from, there's two things it stemmed from. One of them is on the ES, which I'll show you. But this little 15-minute chart here on the NASDAQ, this little hold of demand down here was pretty nice, right? You can see all these wicks, right? Yesterday morning, you saw all those wicks forming at that 14,250. Really nice bullish candles there, and that's really where it all stemmed from. From that point, you could just tell intraday, it was one of those grinder days, right? You could just tell it was just a grinder of a day, and any pullback was just getting bought up. It all started from this demand hold. So very nice move. You know, great for the long term, of course. Even though I missed out on some of this upside on some options, when this stuff happens, it's just a beautiful day for the long term. So really nice day, really nice demand hold. Now today, what are we watching? Right, we are watching this rejection point, 14,570. We're right there today. So what's the upside play today? Right, if we get above that 570, if we hold above that 570, there's a lot of room to the upside. So there's really room towards this 15.2, to be quite honest, which I know sounds a little bit crazy, but there really is on the charts when you go back. There's really not much until that 15,200. So if I go to the 5-year and I zoom out here, look at this. I mean, this is really your next supply. Your major, if you really look at like major supplies and not just these like micro rejections here, your major next rejection point is up here at 15,200 on the NASDAQ. Can it go there? Absolutely, right? If this strength continues, this could absolutely be where the NASDAQ is targeting at this 15.2. We just use our intraday action to sort of judge if this is going to continue. And as of right now, the intraday action is still telling us we're going to continue. So if we break above 14,570, if we turn 14,570 into a support today, and we close the week above this level, right, this could absolutely continue. So that's your big watch today, 14,570 on the NQ. Obviously, we have some data from now to that, right? We have some 8:30 data in 20 minutes. We'll see how that gets affected. But that is your next level. Very key, 14,570 level here today. If we get a pullback today, I would love to look for longs here, right? If we get a pullback to here, this could be a great long entry as well. All right, if we get a pullback to this previous high, to this previous high, to this previous support from yesterday, if we get a pullback there, that could be a very nice long entry as well on a little bit of a retest, right? From the lows, that would be about probably like a 38.2. Yeah, just about a 38.2 retracement back to this like 14,450 area. That could be nice. So if we do get a retracement today, if we do get a pullback off this 570, right, this could be your nice little long entry here back at this demand towards 460 right here. All right, so watch this 460, watch that 570, two big levels, about 110-point range. So be a little bit careful there. No downside plan. I mean, I'm probably not going to short these highs. I wouldn't short these highs. I would only short maybe a hold below 460. There's just no reason to be shorting these highs. Not after what I saw yesterday. Might be a trade, but I don't want to get in front of this train trying to short this little high here. I don't think this high is that strong, right? I don't think this high, unless it's data driven, right? Unless this downside is data driven, I don't feel that confident shorting this little one. There's nothing much here. It's just one high. So I'm not going to go for that today. After seeing this demand hold, after seeing the strength of yesterday's move, I'm not going to wake up the next day and say I'm shorting the hell out of this thing. So I'm going to be very careful on the short side. The only thing that I would look to short is maybe this rejection here. If we really drop, if the data drops us or something and we stop and we stay under this 460, then maybe there's a short back into like this 370 area. But I'm not going to short these highs. That's just me. Hey, you guys do you. There's possibly a supply rejection up here off 570. Yeah, I'm not feeling that today. Not yet, at least. So I'm more interested to see if we hold above this level for longs. I'm interested to see if we pull back to this level for longs. Just going with the market trend, right? The market trend is clearly bullish. And the only short that I'd be interested in is maybe a break and hold below the 460 today. That would be the only short I would look for right here. That's, obviously there could be a short here off this supply from this 570 level as well, if you want to try to catch that. All right. That's how I'm game planning today. Let's continue to the QQQ. I haven't even updated my QQQ chart. What are we at? Let's go 15 minute. You're going to see live analysis of the QQQ chart because I have not done it. All right. So, yeah, I mean, it's like, what is this? The 354 area? This 354, right up in there, looks pretty heavy. 354, 354. After holding this little triple bottom yesterday, right, that was key. That was what, 346.50? I remember us talking about that level, actually. 346.50. This little intermediate level here, what is this? Okay, this is exactly 350. So 350. Yeah, I don't think you want to short the Qs. I think the Q short would be under 350 into 346. You could try to catch this short, right, if it's real juicy. I'd be more interested in shorting under 350, turning these levels back into rejection points. That would be interesting. But I just don't feel comfortable shorting this high yet after yesterday's move. So I would watch this 354, right? See if 354 turns into support today. If we turn 354 into support, that's your next upside potential long entry, right? Off of 354 break and retest. You could watch some of these pre-market levels, like this 352 area looks a little interesting. That's this previous high here. So this 352, let me zoom back out. Scale this up. You can see right here this Tuesday high at 352. That could be a nice watch as well for a little pullback entry as well, right? You could see this 352 pullback. That's actually equal to that NASDAQ level, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So 352 on the Qs is 14,460 on the NASDAQ futures. All right? So this 14,460 on the NASDAQ futures, that is 352 on the QQQ. So those are the levels I'd watch. 352 on a potential bullish retest on a long entry here, and then under 352 for maybe a move into the 350. That's what I would watch. That's how I'd set this up. So you got either a break and retest of 354 for upside. You got a supply rejection maybe into 352. I would be a profit taker. If you're a short from 354, I would be a profit taker into 352, right? So this could be a little 2-point short here, but I would profit take into 352 because I think 352 could just be a bullish retest, and you don't want to get stuck in that. So 352 bullish retest. If you break under 352, then downside to 350. All right? That's how I'd game plan the Qs. Hopefully that helps. Nice clean levels. Delete this shit out of here. All right, let's continue. So, what was the key yesterday? Very, very, very clean level that held on the ES yesterday. Very clean, right? It was pretty much broad daylight. It was right here, guys. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Yesterday, right, the ES popped. Look at what it did here from 10:45 to 11:10 for about, 25 minutes. We basically just sat above 4,200 4202, and we just built a stair, right? We basically just built a stair here. We have it in the options chat. I don't know if I'm going to waste your time to show you what it looked like before, but let's see if I can find it real quick so you can see what this looks like in real time. Nah, it's sometimes the search feature on Discord just does not work. Whatever. Yeah, never mind. So yeah, I mean, look at this. This is key levels, right? You guys can see right here, right? Rejection, rejection, rejection. We came into yesterday morning. We said, watch out for these rejections. And if we're under this level, be careful on the long side, right? But, all right, you had your push, right? It's okay if you miss this, right? This is the type of move that I'm okay missing. You can't say, oh, I'm going to long here into 4,200. That's fine, right? That's okay to miss. That's what I try to get across in this live stream, right? When I say don't long back into 4,200, I'm basically saying don't long this move. Now, sure, if you longed it at the bottom, you're feeling real nice and real sexy, but you don't need to long that bottom, right? All you need to do is watch the market, and once it turns this 4,200 level into support, you long it here, right? And it's not like you missed much, right? If you longed it off 42, you had confirmation, you had clear level demand, right? And that was a nice, beautiful long entry there. So that was textbook, right? After that, yesterday, I was in the chat. I said, if we hold 4,200, this is definitely going to continue, right? That's just a textbook break and retest. So rejections, 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 break and retest. Look at how clean that was. Nice little flag pattern as well, right? We had this little flag that was forming, and then bam, since then, just gorgeous upside. Next, right? What was the next level we had on our charts? It was 4220. If you guys remember, we were looking at the 4220 level. Right here, right? Previous lows, previous lows, previous lows, rejections. Look at what happened at 42.20, right? We broke, we held, we went up, we held again, 42.20. Look at this, right? Look at how these technical levels are respected in the market. 4,200 hold, leading to upside. Break above this low, 42.20, pulled back to it, held it, leading to upside, right? Just gorgeous technical levels there yesterday. Now today, right? What are we watching today? 42.43. It's the exact high of this futures gap up. 42.43. Right there. And right there. And look at where we are today. So, to remain very bullish today, to be very, very bullish today, you have to hold this 42.43. All right. If you hold this 42.43 on the ES, there is absolutely no reason to short this market. All right. If you hold above this double top here, and you turn that into a demand intraday today, you are not looking to short this market. That is just, I think, in my opinion, sort of foolish. All right, we're not going to short above a previous double top, right? That doesn't make sense. So if we hold above that 42.40 area, 42.43, this zone right here, right, we're not going to short into a potential double top break and retest. If we break back below that level, all right, if we see a break under and we start to see this form, right, then we could set up our shorts off this level, respecting the potential rejection here and respecting the potential rejection here. Then we could set up our shorts down into 42.20 again. But that is not until you get a confirmation that this previous double top high is not turning into a demand, right? So if I zoom in here, right, and we look at this, right, if we start to see a few more of this dance here intraday, right, you're not going to want to short into that. If you see this intraday, right, if you start seeing this dance, right, and you start seeing some wick rejections here, right, let's just imagine these are wicks, right, if you start seeing some wick rejections here, then you could set up your short, stop loss over that high, and target that 42.20. But if you continue to maintain this previous double top high, I would not be the first one to short this ES here. All right, just reading technicals. All biases aside, just reading technicals, and that is a technical break and hold above a previous double top. right? There's nothing bearish about that. Nothing bearish about the ES turning this double top into support, right? So watch that. SPY. Let's zoom out. Where's the SPY at? The SPY is different, man. It's just different than the ES futures, which is just strange. Actually, it's not that different, I guess. It's right here. What is that? 423? Yeah, 423. It's a little bit different than the ES. 421 was this level that held yesterday beautifully. That was sick. I'll show you that in a second. And then that 419 hold was perfect. All right, so what happened yesterday on the ES? Or I'm sorry, on the SPY. So this was that key 421 hold intraday, right? Previous highs. You guys can see right there. Beautiful hold intraday. This was your double top high. That's 423 right there, right there. You have right now you have broken 423, right? You are not going to short back into 423 double top highs. This could just be a break and retest for more upside, right? So if you get back under 423, if you turn this double top into rejections again, then you probably have your short into 421, right there. If you turn this double top high back into a rejection point today, then you have that downside into 421. If you are above 423, you would be shorting into a demand, right? And I don't think that makes sense the way I trade, right? I just talk about the way I trade in my head, right? I'm not going to short today if the SPY is above 423. It doesn't make sense on a larger term scale, right? You have to always think about that larger term chart, right? Of course, if you are trading on the 1 minute chart like this, and you're only looking at the 1 minute chart, of course, there could be some, short-term scalps to the downside if that's how you trade. But I like to keep the longer-term idea on my mind. And in my opinion, right, I don't think there is merit to shorting the SPY, right, if it's above 423. So if we're above that level, I would keep this eye, and I would keep an eye out for this as a potential dip buy opportunity, right, off a previous double top. And then if we break under this level, that would be where I would look for that short maybe into 421. All right. So that's pretty easy. It's a pretty textbook technical levels this morning. So 423, 421, ES, 4243, 4220 area. Pretty nice levels, right? Pretty easy to understand. We'll see what happens in 6 minutes here. Obviously, there's data in 6 minutes, and a lot of things can change. Dow Jones, what did Mike Jones do yesterday? A little demand hold there. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Could be a little flag setting up on the Dow, honestly. Right? Could be a little flag setting up on the Dow for more upside here. Absolutely could be. So watch that. 32,600 on the Dow. Really nice. Russell. Sideways. All right, let's continue. Tesla. This is sort of that bigger, larger term idea that I wanted to point out here, guys. It's really a daily flag too, but I'm just going to do it on the 4 hour. This looks pretty hot. I mean, for a longer term idea, I think this looks pretty nice, right? You can see this little channel that Tesla was trading in, and it has broken out of that channel. So Tesla breaking of this downtrending channel, a little bit of a flag breakout right over this 190, 189 area. I think this continues, right? Tesla definitely has found some strength recently. I would say Tesla probably targets this 217 high right here if the market stays strong, right? This would be my next target at this 217 high. If you break above that, I think you're probably pushing towards this 230 area, this previous high here. But this is a nice little breakout of this downtrending channel on Tesla. Really nice hold back here after earnings. Very nice consolidation around the 160s. This was a great opportunity here. And then very nice squeeze to the upside there. I'm not going to look at Tesla in the short term. Obviously, there's going to be intraday volatility as there always is on Tesla. Tesla's sort of a tough stock to trade recently. But, you could watch. Obviously, the 204 break yesterday was very, very key, right? If you want to look for maybe a short-term pullback, I would not be opposed to looking for a 204 retest here, right, to maybe get a new long entry, something along those lines. If we zoom in even further, You can watch yesterday's highs right here today, this 209, 210 area as a potential demand for more upside, right? Or you could even watch this little demand that stepped in yesterday intraday around this 207. So 210, I would say, 207. The larger term idea would be a pullback to 204. Do you get that? I don't know, right? That would really be the cleaner retest that I'd look for, right? You can see this little double top. Would love to get that, right? That would be the sexy pullback entry. Do you get that today? Probably not. But do you get that next week? Potentially. So keep an eye on it. If you want to be patient, if you don't want to chase Tesla, and you want to wait for that, if you want to wait for that real strong pullback to get in a better entry, I would say 204 is that level. So previous high. If you get that extended pullback in the 204, that could be your entry, the next entry. On the short term, 210 and 207 is what I'd watch today. All right. Larger. Remember, keep the larger term idea on your screen. Right. Keep this in your mind. Right, this larger term idea is still very bullish, so be careful shorting Tesla here when you go to the 4 hour. This is a bullish chart. I would not be shorting Tesla here. Maybe up to 217, you could look for something. All right. Nvidia, strong hold of that demand low yesterday. Congrats to anyone that caught that. I missed it. It didn't quite come back enough for me. I wasn't comfortable just longing Nvidia like right here at 384. It just felt like a random number to me, so it wasn't really at a key level. If we open the day here on Nvidia, right, if we were trading down here on Nvidia at yesterday open, I would have been all over this thing. But this just felt a little iffy to me, so I did miss out on that. But nice 400 break, right? It's pretty easy today on Nvidia, right? I think everyone's watching the same exact thing. Everyone is watching the same exact thing on Nvidia today, which is a little bit concerning, to be quite honest. If everyone's watching the same thing, it possibly, doesn't work for anyone. Everyone is going to be watching Nvidia to hold 400, right? Everyone's going to be looking for a pullback on Nvidia, looking to see if 400 holds, and if it does, there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of retail traders buying calls off 400 today. So just keep in mind, that's the psychology of the market, right? That's what everyone's going to look for. Just be aware of that. That's what I would look for. Hey, I'll still potentially trade it if it sets up. I'll look for that 400 break and hold. So keep an eye on that 400. That's very key. Easy psych level. Just it's sort of like a very rudimentary type of trade entry. So we'll see. We'll see if it actually works out. See if that 400 holds today on Nvidia. That's going to be the big watch. All right, we got data here. Let's see what the data is doing. All right, so the data is causing a little bit of a supply rejection there. So that's important, right? Let's see that. A little bit of downside off that NQ high. Okay, oh, look at this. Oh, shit. If this thing holds this level, that'd be wild. Oh, man. If the ES can hold this 42.43 here on data, this is going to push. Let's see. This is going to be important. This 42.43 right here is very important. Yeah, it's holding it for now. Volume's coming in strong. Huh. What a hold. Jeez. Let's see if that holds intraday. That's the key. We just saw it there, right? We just saw it with our own eyes in the pre-market here. This is the key, right? This area right here is going to be key. If we maintain this area at open, I would still be very long biased here. If we break under this level, then things can flip, right? This is where things can flip right here. So let's see. Still very jumpy. Still can't say anything for certain here. Still a very jumpy candle. But keep an eye on this 42.43, all right? SPY. Yeah, it's SPY. It's right at that 423 area. That's going to be huge right here. That's your deciding factor today, right? This is your deciding factor, whether you're looking to short under this or if you're staying to look long above it, right? That is your deciding factor today in my eyes. So keep an eye on that. NASDAQ. Yeah, it's got some space to the downside still. Qs, I would say it's like the 352 level. But you got to get above that 354 too, right? So pretty much an undecided candle for now. All right. Meta. So this was just sick yesterday. I'm very upset I missed this. I got to be honest. I wonder if I can find this chart from yesterday. Yeah. Fuck. Oh, man. This hurts. This really hurts. Right here. This is what we were talking about yesterday at 9:05 a.m. in the Discord. I was talking to All Money in Julio, and I said, could get a flag off 265 today, right there. And I was very much watching this, and I don't know what happened that caused me to lose track of Meta yesterday. But that is right here, right? This is right here, and this was sick. So that's unfortunate. That hurt a little bit. I'm sure you guys have all been there. Including myself, where you just find a beautiful entry and you just miss it. So really nice flag there on Meta. Nice hold, right? Nice upside off that. And then what did Meta do later in the day, right? You can see right here. Right here you have this previous high, right? You see right there. And then you held that 269, right? So you can see previous triple top high, you break above it, you hold above it, 269, right? And then you can see we had that continuation. Next high was 271, we held it again, and we have continuation. So what are we watching today, right? When I see a chart like this, all that I'm looking for are pullbacks to my zones, right? I have my zone set up, and now all I'm waiting for is a pullback to my zones. So if Meta pulls back to 271, I'll see if there's interest. If Meta pulls back to 269, I'll see if there's interest. And I don't think this is going to happen, but if Meta pulls back to 360 or 265, then I'll see if there's interest. So I'm basically just going to watch these pullback zones, keep an eye on those, all right, and see if we maintain any of these pullback areas on Meta. But a very nice flag yesterday. Meta is still in this gap. Remember that, right? Meta is still in this gap, and I would say it probably continues to lead higher towards that 288. Right? I see people saying ES is up, ES is down. I mean, what are you guys looking at? ES is okay. I thought it said SPY is pushing down. You said SPY is pushing down. Okay, got it. Yeah, I mean, look at that hold. Look at that hold. Right? Nice hold. Is NQ over highs? Oh, interesting. Why is the SPY pushing without the NASDAQ? What's pushing here? This is interesting. What's moving the SPY right now? I can't type F. Oh, XLF. XLE, XLF. What's XLV doing? Yeah, it looks like it's a little... Yeah, interesting. You're getting a little bit of a SPY strength. That's something we have not seen. All right, we have not seen a SPY upside without the NASDAQ here in quite some time. NASDAQ's actually the underperformer right now. Interesting. All right. No, they're not equal. ES is up 0.6%. NASDAQ's up 0.4, so it's a little bit of discrepancy there. A little bit of outperformance on SPY. All right, let's continue. FSLR and N phase. These are sort of interesting today. Here's FSLR. Here's a little channel low demand hold on FSLR. Does this maintain? This could be interesting, right? Nice clean 200 level on FSLR. You can see demand, demand, demand. Look at this channel, right? This could be interesting. Just wanted to point this out. It's a nice little setup. Keep an eye on this one. FSLR. We'll see if those. We'll see if that the solar sector is strong today. If it is, right, that's interesting. Watch that 200 hold on FSLR. And then on the flip side, you got N phase, and N phase is in a gap, right? Here's N phase, right? And N phase, same sector, right? Look at what N phase is doing. You guys see this gap right here? Here's a pretty big gap until like this 220 area, right? So this could be interesting as well. Keep an eye on these energy names. See if there's any strength on them. N phase and FSLR both in some interesting setups here. So I just wanted to point those out today. All right. Netflix 400, right? You can see, look at this. Look at yesterday. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, does it? It doesn't get much cleaner than that. 400 break, little bit of a dance here. So if you were holding in this area, definitely a little bit of a tango with Netflix yesterday. But overall, a really strong 400 hold, right? And then a squeeze above 400. Today, look for that 400 pullback. That's what I'd look for. If you can get a 400 pullback today, if you can see that thing hold again, could set something up. Try to get long as close to 400 as you can, right? I wouldn't try to long this at 404, 403. Look to see if you can get a nice strong retest of 400. If you can, could be interesting. So keep an eye on that. Netflix 400, that's something I'll be watching. Amazon. So Amazon got over this 122 level. This was a very big break on Amazon. Right here, this 122.50. I'm actually going to delete that. So you can see right here, this 122.50, 122 area, very important break and hold yesterday. I think that could lead to further upside here, right? This is the day one of a break and retest. And that 122 area is very important. That 122 area, if I extend this to the left, is some previous major rejection points. So right here, if I zoom in, you have some rejections at this 122 here. You have some rejections at this 122 here. It's a little bit sloppier up towards like this 125, so you could be careful. You might want to be a little cautious here into that 125. But when we look at this in the short term, I like this 122.50 retest that stepped up yesterday, right? So I would look for that. See if this thing holds here. If it does not hold here, then it's no longer interesting, right? If it breaks back below, then you're coming back into 120. So 122.50 is the key level I'd watch there on Amazon. Is NQ coming down? Yeah, so you're getting that NASDAQ rejection. You're getting that little double top on NQ, right? Nice little high here, nice little high here. So nice little downside there off that supply. I would watch this. It's really, is it like this? Is it like 450? Yeah, it might be more like 450 to, it's like a 20-point range, it almost seems like. I'm actually going to make this a little bit of a range. It's like this little 20-point range here. 450 to 470, it looks like. This previous high, this previous low, this little demand hold here. So I would watch this like 470 to 450 zone on NQ. That would be my little pullback long watch right there. All right. So you are getting that rejection. QQQ, it's that 352, right? 352. So keep an eye on that. You guys got to watch the levels. You got to watch the levels, right? Like, just because the QQQ is pulling back here does not mean anything until it's under 352. This is meaningless, right? That's a meaningless drop to me unless it breaks under 352. If it breaks under 352, then it means something, right? It's actually breaking a key level. If the NASDAQ breaks back below this little demand from yesterday around this 450, then it's actually meaningful, right? And could lead to further downside. But a drop here back into a demand is a little bit less meaningful because this could just sort of hold here, right? So you guys just got to just watch these levels. I wouldn't, don't let these little short-term movements get you too riled up, right? The ES is also still maintaining that 42.43. Very interesting, right? That ES is sort of outperforming right now. Look at that hold. Very interesting. All right. Shopify. Interesting Shopify. I got a lot of analysis on this one. I really want to catch this trade. I really like it. I'm just, I'm being a little bit cautious on it, but so the first things first, I like this little flag that's pulling back. I like the low volume pullback. I like how it's sort of just grinding lower. I think eventually this will wake up. In my opinion, this is like a ticking time bomb. This is what happens. This is what happens on many stocks. I don't really know if I can think of one. Like you guys know, you've seen a lot of these slow pullbacks that sort of lead to those bull flag breakouts. I think Amazon did it. Yeah, Amazon did it here, right? you've seen a lot of these bull flag breakouts. AMD did it how many times, right? AMD. So I like these little bull flags in this current market environment, right? That's the biggest thing to realize. The current market environment, you've seen a lot of bull flag breakouts on like the larger term time frames. That doesn't always happen, right? That was not happening in 2021, right? This setup does not lead to upside in 2022. That's not a setup we looked for 2022. Now, in the last few months, the bull flags have been a thing of beauty. So I'm watching this. TSM was the one we caught, right? We caught that TSM bull flag. This is actually exactly what I'm looking at on Shopify. This is exactly the move that I'm looking for on Shopify. To the T. Thank you for reminding me. That and Shop are pretty much the identical 4-hour pullback long entries that I'm trying to catch here. And you guys know TSM absolutely ripped. And we caught a nice like $3,000 on this trade. So I am not losing sight of this trade. I think this is very potentially a little ticking time bomb here. I'm just going to continue to monitor it. This 57 hold is very impressive to me. That 4-hour candle, that first 4-hour candle yesterday on Shopify, very impressive to me at that 57. You need to get over 60, but this is interesting. I'm going to be watching this. That's about all I have for you. I will also just throw up this fib for you if you want to see that. If we go to the daily chart, right, for all the fib boys out there, shout out fib boys, hashtag fib boys. The fib from the lows to the highs, you just hit a 50% retracement yesterday. You bounced very aggressively off a 50% retracement yesterday. From this swing low to this swing high, you retraced 50% of the move. So do we get a little bounce off that 50% retracement for the fib boys out there? And do you break this flag? Interesting to me. The only concern I have is the sector that Shopify's in. Maybe retail. It's not really retail, but maybe it's a little bit weak because of that. We'll see. I like it. I'm definitely going to watch it. All right. NASDAQ, same levels, right? Watch that supply high, 14,460. 560. ES, do not short the ES if it's above 42.43 today. All right. Fib Boy Summer, Short King Summer. Press the goddamn like button. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for always liking the videos, subscribing to the channel. Make sure to check out the video yesterday with the Italian goat, Carmine Rosado. If you guys want to check that out, just a little conversation between us two. I'm going to head out of here. It's Friday. Have a fantastic weekend. Have fun. Be safe. If you get a nice trade today, please get off the charts. Go do something else. Don't give back your money. If you start the day with a nice green trade, pat yourself on the back, chest to the sun, shout out to the Colt, and just walk away and have a good weekend. All right, guys? Thank you guys again. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah. I'm trying to think of... I can't think of something. Ganja Kran. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday. Peace out.